People, Deluded, I'm back again. Good morning, and I hope you're all doing well and safe. Now, in 24 hours time, we'll be playing against Norwich, finally returning to the Emirates after the restart, after a long, fair bit of travelling, really and truly. You know, even with the coronavirus, travelling has been even more complicated. We've played in Manchester, we've played in Brighton, we've played in Southampton, and we've played in Sheffield. Now, you know, the games are coming thick and fast. We need to win, and, you know, obviously the fans are not at the Emirates, but it's our first home game since the restart, and we need to win. We're not going to get top four, you know, but in terms of trying to put a winning run together, especially momentum, you know, we found out we're playing City in the semi-finals. We've got no Arsene Wenger, no Alexis Sanchez, and none of them things there. So who knows what that's going to throw up. But, you know, we probably, even with momentum, we'll get smacked against City. But at least if there's some winning run going into that game, we have half a chance. And just in terms of Arteta and next season and the players that are here, I want to see us go on some sort of run just for a feel-good factor. Now, Norwich is going to be a tough game. They're rock bottom 20th in the league. You know, they probably have to win all their games to stay up, and even then they're gone. Like me, I think they're gone. I think there's just 2 spots, and, you know, everyone, Brighton's even involved on a lesser level. You've got West Ham, you've got Watford at the thick of it. The games are coming thick and fast, so we need to be careful of playing teams like this at this period in time, because there's an uptake in results. Obviously, we know what Norwich can do. We drew 2-2 in the reverse fixture against them. They had, I think, I can't remember the stats, but I think we had 14 shots to their 15, and they had 8 on target, and we had like 6 or something like that. I could be wrong, but that shows you, you know, as much as there's a reason for them being 20th, is for me, is because they can see cheap goals and can't really defend that well. They're a good side. They can play football. You know, they've got Cantwell. If I know he's there's a bit of touch and go in relation to him and a number of people's fitness, but they've got Cantwell, you know, Pookie's a decent striker. They've got Max Aarons that will go forward. You know, Jamal Lewis on the other hand side at left back needs no introduction. He'll go forward. So I think they're a good side, and they will exploit, and they will have a goal away from home or wherever. People, I think the only thing with them is the cheap mistakes they concede and not taking advantage. If we go back to the game against Southampton, which on paper they lost 3-0, they looked appalling. Don't get it twisted, they lost 3-0, they lost in the second half. But they were all over Southampton in that first half, people. All over them. They just needed to take their chances. In terms of areas to exploit, I think we need to really put balls in behind, especially Jamal Lewis, because he likes to go forward, and he can get caught with that half space where you go forward and you leave a bit of an area to exploit. And Pepe, don't go as far as to say he's in form, but he's been playing well on the spin now in the last 2 games, you know, against Brighton and obviously Sheffield. So I want to see him go for it. I want to see Max Aarons really giving a test with what I assume is Aubameyang. I think Eddie Nketiah will get the nod. They're a decent team. They've been in a bit of a woeful run, I believe. Ever since their heroics in the cup competition, defeating Spurs, they've lost every other game. They've lost to, you know, it was a fantastic performance by them to take Manchester United to extra time, but at the end of the day, they lost. That game showed that there's issues they can exploit, and it also shows that you have to dig deep. I believe they lost against Everton. Forgive me for looking back, people, but I believe there's been 4 games or so since the restart, and they haven't done well in any of them, really. So allow me to just quickly look at their fixtures. Norwich City results. Yeah, so like I said, they lost 3-0 to Southampton, which I haven't talked about. I knew. Everton, they lost 1-0. Manchester United, sorry, in the cup, in the FA Cup, they lost 2-1, and they obviously lost 1-0 to Sheffield. So 4 games since the restart in all competitions. You know, not kept a clean sheet in all of them, conceded in all of them, rock bottom 20th. To be fair, when you play a team like Arsenal, all the form goes out the window. But they should be relishing it, same way Brighton should relish it, and Southampton prior to that game, they should be positive that they can get something against Arsenal, because if they win, it's not really a shock, but it's a shock. If they lose, people expected them to lose. And I think, you know, we're not playing that expansive football, but considering in terms of evenness and our style of plays, I think they're more likely to have a goal. So for me, we need to exploit them. We need to really test that back line. You know, they've got, like I said, Jamal Lewis, Godfrey, Max Aarons, players that will get moves. You know, they've got Bendia in the midfield. They've got Pookie, who's experienced, and he will find space. You know, they're doing well in that 4-2-3-1, and they play good football. We just need to get 3 points, man. We don't know what's going to happen. We just need to get 3 points. You know, in relation to the lineup, I'm not too sure who I'd play. You know, I'd expect. I don't know how much football he's played, so I don't want to say expect, but Surely Cedric Suarez at some point is going to get a go at right back. Me personally, I'll keep Maitland-Niles at fullback. I think, you know, he brings the... I don't want to go as far as to say he brings the best out in Pepe, but there's a dramatic uptake in performance when Bellerin's playing currently and when Maitland-Niles. The only reason I would see Maitland-Niles losing his position is if, you know, who are we going to play instead to partner Xhaka? I mean, is he going to go back with Ceballos, who's kind of lost his place? Is Joe going to get a ride in there? You know, I'd move Maitland-Niles, to be honest, there. In terms of the lineup, that's the only tough one, because there is a lot of touch and go in relation to fitness. I don't even know for David Luiz, really and truly. If I had to pick the team, you know, I would go... Martinez picks himself in goal. I'll go Maitland-Niles at right back. Centre halves, Mustafi and Holding. We don't really have much. Left back, Kieran Tierney. If fit, you know, he got a bit of cramp. If fit, it goes again. If not, I'll probably move Saka there, to be fair with you, ahead of Kolasinac. But, you know, like I said, Tierney, Maitland-Niles, Mustafi, Rob Holding and Martinez complete the back five. In midfield, you know, I'd probably keep the formation the same. I will go with Xhaka, probably nod to Ceballos, and Saka. So Xhaka, Saka and Ceballos in the middle. Up front for me, you've got Pepe on the right. You know, Eddie Nketiah is likely to be through the middle, even though I would like it to be Aubameyang. And I'd move Aubameyang to the left-hand side. So, well, keep him there. So to recap the team, you know, Martinez, Maitland-Niles, Rob Holding and Mustafi, Tierney, midfield of Saka, Xhaka and Ceballos. You know, if Suarez is going to start, I'd probably remove Ceballos and go with Maitland-Niles there in that, even though Ceballos is probably the only midfielder you can see breaking the lines. Up front, or the front three, I'm obviously going to go with Eddie, Aubameyang and Pepe. That being said, there is every chance he could go with a 3-4-3. You know, again, people really and truly against Norwich. So we'll have to see what happens. The most important thing for a feel-good factor is just to win, you know, because looking at our run of games now, people, you know, this season is done, but those of you that are going to be here next year, you need to show that you can put a run of games together. You need to show that there's tough games and you can come around it, come out of it better. Not by no imagination disrespecting Norwich, people, but looking at the fixture list now, people, we've got a tough game on Wednesday, tomorrow against Norwich. Saturday we've got Wolves away from home, and I'm sure many people were dreading that. I'm sure after that we've got Leicester. Not too long before that you've got Tottenham Hotspur and Liverpool. So, you know, if there's nothing more to play for this season, I'm looking at players and seeing if you can show me characteristics that we can use next season. I need to see you putting in a respectable performance against Liverpool and Spurs. Whether that happens, another case. I need to see you going against Leicester and Wolves, two teams doing very well in the league, and I'm having sleepless nights about that game, people. You need to come out of that with either saving face or 3 points, because, you know, we're going to 38 games next season. I want to get top 4 or put in a proper challenge for top 4, regardless of if I believe we can do it properly. And that's only going to come when you break down a season, when we get them fixtures and saying, okay, cool, this last furlong of the season, let's say in a normal world, it's probably end of April to May or end of March to May. Can you put consistent runs together? The December period, can you go away from home and put runs together, especially if we are in Europa League and the fixtures are starting to pile up? It's these sort of things there that has been an issue and an Achilles heel at Arsenal, beyond the obvious. As well, in terms of currently, I want to see us play to the same level in the first half than the second, because if you've been watching our recent games, it's like, even, you know, we beat Southampton fair enough and we got a decent result against Sheffield, but second half, was we necessarily the dominant team, or did we ride our luck and, you know, things happen for us? You get it? Not Brighton, Southampton, you know, Ings could have scored on another day. You know, we caught life with Sheffield being offside, with obviously Ceballos saving our blushes, people. I want to see proper game management. Obviously, I would love a clean sheet, man, and I know the fans aren't at the Emirates, but I just want to see us put some pride back in the shirt, people. Really, really and truly. It's that simple, really and truly. There's nothing more to add on that note, people. I'm going to get out of here. There's nothing more better yet to be said in relation to my preview. DG, I'm out. Hopefully it's a positive result and performance tomorrow. We'll see, people. On that note, DG.